Jerry, let me ask you, you went on stage a couple of times, Jerry, with Pearl Jam when they were playing here in Los Angeles, and both of you guys go way back with Pearl Jam. Can you talk for a minute about the bond between the two bands?
Yeah, well, it's not just the two of us, but yeah, of course, those guys mean a lot to us. I met all those guys when they were in Mother Love Bone, and they had Andy, and that was before Andy had passed away, and before they had kind of met Eddie and turned into Pearl Jam, and I remember when Eddie came to L.A., I was actually living with Kelly Curtis, their manager, and our manager at the time, along with Susan Silver, and I was basically kind of camped out in Kelly's basement. So, when Ed came to L.A., we were basically both living in Kelly's basement for a while, and it was a really supportive kind of thing, and the guys in Soundgarden also were guys we admired a lot, and it was a pretty tight knit family up there, and to go see that show at Universal the other night was just amazing. It's just I haven't seen Pearl Jam in a while, and the quality of band, they're just a great live band, and Eddie's such a magnetic frontman, and then Cornell's there, and actually all of the guys in Soundgarden were there. Kim and Matt's playing with them, of course, and Ben was down there, and I'm just watching the show, and Cornell gets up and they do Hunger Strike, and everybody's losing their minds, including me, and then they go into Alive right at the end, and McCready's like, he runs over like at the end solo bit, and he hands me the guitar, and he's like, solo in E, dude, and I'm like, what? And he's like, solo in E,
dude, goosebumps.
So then I'm out there, and they called Chris back out, and we all kind of did a bow together at the end, and it just felt really good. I mean, I miss those guys. I don't get to spend as much time with them as we did when we were younger. But I admire them all, and they're good friends of mine. And it was just a really cool moment.
Yeah, I
Mike,
think,
go ahead.
A lot of that is like we relate to those guys who went through this crazy thing, this whole grunge movement back in the early '90s together. So it's kind of like we can only relate to those guys. I mean, they had the same perspective as we did. So it's that bond is going to last for a lifetime for sure.
No, it's great. It's great to hear that level of respect. It's great that you guys still inspire each other. There's nothing knuckleheaded about it. There's no backstabbing. There's no hating. I mean, like I said, goosebumps. Hey, Mike, what was it like? You guys were in the studio with Sir Elton John. I mean, you've probably worked with a lot of guys, but did you think 20 years out that you would ever be in the studio working with him, and what was that like, Mike?
Oh, never in a million years. I mean, for one thing, it was just so surprising to me. We walked in, he's asking me questions about, like, Queensryche, and asking us questions if System of a Down's going to get back together. The guy is so in tune with what's going on in music, and he sat behind his piano and just started playing. He's just such a lover of music. He loves his craft, and it was real inspirational for us. I want to be his age and still be in love with this business and in love with music as much as him. Just an amazing thing. We never thought in a million years that was ever going to happen, right, Jerry?
It's kind of one of those things like you never know unless you ask, and we were his name popped up in a conversation when we decided, it's obviously a very important track, the title track, and it's also, dedicated to Lane, and so, it obviously means a lot. The song was going to be good without him, and we had demoed it with piano without, and a buddy of ours who's been with us for a long time and worked with Elton for a while, he's like, why don't you call Elton up? And we're like, yeah, I'm sure he's going to get right on that, and he'll just wing right on over and play it, but he's like, hey, you never know unless you ask. So I wrote him an email and sent him the demo and explained the significance of this song, and he loved the song and he wanted to play on it.
That's cool. Great. That is great. The band is called Alice in Chains. Jerry Cantrell, Mike Inez, both members of the band.